All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to do something a little different. We are stepping into the lab, and you're the apprentice. Your lesson, the incredible art of intra-cytoplasmic sperm injection, or what everyone just calls ICSI. It's this delicate, unbelievably high-stakes technique of creating a new life, one single cell at a time. You know, a master embryologist once said this to their apprentice, and it just sets the scene perfectly. When you look at the setup with the joysticks and the screen, you might think it looks like some kind of video game. But the reality? It couldn't be more different. Every single move you make is final. Every decision carries this immense weight, the potential for a new life. There are no second chances, no extra lives here. So let's begin. Imagine your mentor invites you to sit down. You adjust your chair, you try to relax your shoulders. You're about to learn a skill that isn't really taught in textbooks. It's passed down from one steady hand to another. This is where it all begins. They call this whole setup the cockpit. And yeah, it's easy to see why. You've got your microscope, which is basically a window into a hidden universe. And you have these joysticks that control needles thinner than a human hair. This is your command center. And your mission is to pilot one single sperm cell to its final destination. Okay, so before any flight, you have to do your pre-flight check, right? Well, the first part of ICSI is all about preparation. You have to meticulously, create the perfect environment on a tiny petri dish where this incredible meeting is going to happen. So on your dish, you're going to have three key areas. First up, the sperm drop. It's this chaotic little pool with literally millions of candidates swimming around. Next to that, you have the PVP drop. Now, think of this stuff like honey. It's thick, it's viscous, and its whole job is to slow down the fastest swimmers so you can actually catch one. And then finally, you have the oocyte drops, where the eggs are just patiently waiting. And here's your very first lesson in what not to do. Before you even get to touch a cell, you have to align your injection needles. And these things are so fragile and expensive. Crashing them into the dish, that is a classic rookie mistake. So the very first skill you've got to master is just having a delicate touch. All right, the stage is set. Now your focus shifts. You move your view over to that sperm drop. Out of the millions of hopefuls swimming around in there, your job is to find the one, the single best groom candidate for the waiting egg. So what are you looking for exactly? Well, it's not actually about being the fastest swimmer. No, you're looking for the one that swims with purpose, in a nice straight line. You're also looking for what they call ideal morphology, a smooth oval head, a neck that's not too thick. These are all the subtle visual clues that tell you, hey, this one is healthy, this one is viable. So once you've picked your champion and moved it into that honey-like PVP drop, you do something that sounds, well, a little surprising. You have to immobilize it, and you do that by breaking its tail with the needle. But why? Why is that step so necessary? Well, the first reason is just practical, right? You can't inject a moving target. But the second reason, now that is the real biological secret here. See, this move isn't just about stopping the sperm, it's about starting fertilization. Breaking its membrane releases these special factors that act like a key in a lock. It unlocks the egg and basically tells it, wake up, it's time to begin. But again, it is such a delicate art. If you hit the tail too softly, well, it just keeps on swimming. But if you hit it too hard, you can actually decapitate it, which ruins your carefully chosen candidate. The goal is to injure it just enough to stop it. It's a technique that's based almost entirely on feel. And now, the main event. You've got your sperm loaded up into the needle. You move your view over to the egg. This is the moment. It requires absolute total focus, and it's guided by a very specific set of rules. It's called the clock rule. See that little blob on the egg? That's the polar body, and it sits right on top of the egg's delicate chromosomes. So to protect that precious genetic cargo, you have to rotate the egg so the polar body is at either the 12 o'clock or the 6 o'clock position. Your needle then always has to enter from 3 o'clock, the farthest possible point from the DNA. It's all about safety. Okay, so let's walk through this. First, you push the needle through the egg's tough outer shell. But listen, you're not inside yet. The inner membrane, the oolemma, is super flexible. It actually stretches inward as you push, kind of like poking a water balloon. So to get through it, you have to gently pull back on the syringe, creating just a tiny bit of suction. We call this aspiration. And then you get this moment. They call it shellac. It's a Turkish word, basically means a sharp snap or smack. Now, You don't actually hear anything, of course, but you see it. Through the microscope, there's this little flicker. The membrane just gives way, and you see a tiny bit of the egg's cytoplasm rush into your needle. That is your confirmation. That's the signal. You're in. Now for the final moves. You gently push that cytoplasm back in, followed immediately by the single sperm. The goal here is to introduce as little of that outside fluid as possible, and then a smooth, steady withdrawal. The egg will bounce back to its spherical shape, and the procedure is done. This right here is probably the most critical mistake an apprentice can make. If you get impatient and you release the sperm before you see that schlock moment, well, you haven't actually entered the cell. The sperm gets left behind, trapped in that little space between the membrane and the shell. And fertilization, it's just not going to happen. That breakthrough moment, it's everything. So the injection is over. The intense, hands-on part of your work is finished. But your responsibility? Oh, it's far from over. Now a new, much quieter phase begins. The embryologist's watch. Your mentor gives you one last piece of advice, and it's not about technique, it's about being human. They'll tell you, listen, your hands are going to tremble, that's totally normal. The secret is to control your breathing. As you're pushing that needle in, don't hold your breath. It's what everyone wants to do. Instead, just breathe out, calmly. You've got to control your own body to master the world of the cell. And with time, you learn that every single egg is different. Some are fragile, their membranes break with the slightest touch. Others, they're super elastic, stretching and they just won't break. The real art is learning to read the character of the cell and adapting your technique right there on the fly. A little gentler here, maybe a little sharper there. And then the eggs are carefully moved from your dish into the incubator, which is the safe, stable environment that perfectly mimics the human body. And in this moment, your relationship to them changes. They're no longer just cells that you're working on. They are now your patients, and your job is to guard them. That entire delicate dance, it only took a few minutes. But what you've just done is fire the starting pistol for the most critical marathon in all of biology. From this single fertilized cell, a whole complex journey of division and development has just begun. So the real question is, what happens over the next 5 days inside the quiet darkness of that incubator? Well, that's a story for another time.